One of the new weapons we get in Sons of the Forest is a stun gun. That's right, we get a taser. But you don't just get the taser at the start of the game, you have to go and find it, and that's exactly what I'm going to show you how to do today. So the cave that you need to go in to get the stun gun is on the northern shore of the island. Now you can of course run along through the forest and potentially encounter cannibals to get here, or you can always just head to the beach and then walk your way around and encounter potentially less. But fortunately, the marker is on the GPS map, and you'll notice the cave because it's pretty obvious when you get right here. Now, as with other caves, this cave is also going to be full of enemies, mainly fingerlings and the blind mutants. So you might want to make sure you bring some supplies, such as armor with you before you come in. But as you enter in, you're going to see an existing light. You're going to find some supplies like flares and so forth. You're going to find an air tank and some skulls. Just grab what you need and then keep walking down the path. You'll pass by another light with a spot where you need to crouch down to get through. And then after passing through the next cavern area, you're going to come up where you see another light and you see some water falling down, and you'll see a little pool floating. And this is where you're going to start encountering enemies, like the blind gray ones I mentioned. And around the bend, you're going to find a bunch of mutants. Now, you can always try to sneak your way through or prepare to fight. Now, if you do end up fighting, I suggest going back to where the pull float is and try to use the narrow pathway there as a way to funnel them and limit how many can come at you at one time. Now, just remember, these are mutants. So once you get them down, and you, of course, are not getting attacked by another one, you can skin them to get creepy armor. So definitely remember to take advantage of that. Definitely be prepared for a long fight because there are a lot of mutants in just this one area. Once you feel confident you have dispatched all or at least most of the enemies, move on forward and you will find another spot with a light here. Now, there may be another enemy that comes around from one of the corners, so just be prepared. But if you want the stun gun, you're going to go in the direction that the light is shining, which is the right fork. Now, if you've already used up some of your armor, your bone armor, this is a good opportunity if you have the other supplies to make some more pieces and then grab a few bones before you continue on. Now, if you decide to take the left fork here, you will go and get the rebreather, which I will be doing another video after this on the path to the rebreather. And if that video is currently active, I will have it added in the description below. But for the stun gun, we're going to follow the right path, as I said. And at this point, it gets a good bit easier compared to the first area. As you follow the path, you'll have a few mutants that you're going to have to fight. But for the most part, you're not going to have a large number of them all swarming you at once again. Now, as you round one curve in the path, you will find possibly a couple of the gray blind ones coming at you from down the pathway, and just one fingerling. It should be a lot easier at this point. You shouldn't have anything beyond just those three, and the blind ones may not even come out from further down the path. Depends on how noisy you are. As you continue forward, you're going to reach a spot where you start to hear music, and you're going to see another one of these special forces guys. He's going to have some ammo, grenade, meds, stuff like that. And this is where the pathway appears to fork again. If you take the left path at this point, you're just going to run into a couple of flares and a skull and a dead end. Taking the right path, we'll start to hear the music get a little bit louder, and eventually you reach the source of the music, which is a boombox hanging from the ceiling. As you continue further down the path, it's going to eventually start to open up again into a smaller area, and guess what? Babies. And after you dispatch the babies, you just keep going straight. There's really no other way to go, and you're going to eventually come across this spot where you're going to see a guy hanging here from the ceiling, and next to him, the stun gun. That's right. Now we got something we can zap enemies with. And again, another dead end up ahead. And if you look to the left of the guy hanging from the ceiling, you'll see this area, and oh man, what is that? There's something moving back there behind what looks to be possibly shelves. And at this point, there's nothing we can do to get back there. So the only way forward is to actually go back and head back out the entrance. Or if you want, you can head back to that first fork in the path and take the left path to get the rebreather. Now, as I said, I will be posting a video on the pathway to the rebreather And if it is already live, it will be listed in the description below. Now, while you might want to get the rebreather first, and you can certainly do that, the rebreather path is a point of no return type of path. So once you head that way past a certain point, you're not going to be able to turn around and decide to get the stun gun, which is why I say get the stun gun first. And so there you go. That's how you get to the stun gun. This is definitely going to be a fairly challenging cave, depending on how badly you get swarmed by enemies at certain spots. If you are able to get past those most difficult areas where they really start to bunch up on you, then you'll be fine in the smaller pathways where you really just encounter one at a time. And if this video helped you out, help me out then by hitting that like button, and hey, leave a comment below.